Hello, everyone.
It's just me.
JJ.
Yep.
Okay.
Us and a bunch of note takers.
Yeah, they show up early, as usual. Honey or Vitam. We're just joking about note takers showing up early. They always come early than humans. So good.
Many people are on vacation, I think, Carlos.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it should be a slow one today. But we're here, and of course, have to discuss. But yeah, I'm expecting a lot of folks will be out. Hey, Roy, good to see you here, everyone. Hallie's back. Welcome back. Okay. Yeah, as usual, I'll just give folks a minute or two, and we're going to get started. Okay, guys, I think we can get started. So maybe JJ, you can kick us off as usual.
Sounds good. Thanks, Carlos. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the llm-d weekly community meeting. My name is JJ Asgar, and I'm one of the community architects for the project. So if you have any issues with community work, never hesitate to reach out to the community team in general. We are a couple simple reminders before we start this talk or this conversation. We do have a code of conduct, and we all abide by this code of conduct. There's a link to it inside the meeting notes. If you've not read it, please do. Also, if you've not joined the Slack, please go ahead and join the Slack. That is the easiest way to communicate with everyone on the team. We also have an llm-d contributors Google group that if you join, you get access to the drive with all the previous presentations and meetings and notes and whatnot that you can absolutely get. And again, if you have any issues with the community operational side, never hesitate to reach out to one of the community architects. We are here to help. And there is even a at community architects, I believe it is, inside of Slack that will ping us directly to make that work a little bit easier. I think I got everything there, Carlos. Back to you.
Thanks, JJ. Yeah, so welcome everyone. Once again, we start with open forum. If you're new to this community, this call, this is the place where you can always chime in, ask questions, give feedback. I keep saying this every week. We are very much looking for feedback and experience from folks trying this out. So in that spirit, for open forum, before we go into some of the, excuse me, the seating topics that we have in there, we start with, again, this open forum. If anyone has an issue, comment, feedback, feel free to chime in. All right, I'll get the discussion going with some of these topics here. Again, just a few highlights, and then you get into more like a structure updates from the SIG. There are two community requests this week, one for help and one for feedback. As you heard many times, and today you hear more about this kind of big revamp that we're doing for the user experience, how we structure our quick starts and so on. We got a lot of feedback, and I think there was a lot of like opportunity to improve here. There's been a lot of changes. Greg will give you the details, but the request is really on the community helping us to test, right? This is a very big surface area in many ways, and we keep bumping into many issues. But it's not only that. We want the opinion from folks that are not like core to the project. We all know that as you get very close to some of the project, you get biased. So we want kind of unbiased and unfiltered feedback for the deployment, particular folks coming from like an operational background. We want to hit that persona. So again, for the whole community here, please do take a look at some of the new changes for quick starts and so on. And if you can help us test, that would help this community greatly. Before I talk about the other one, I don't know if anyone wants to chime in about user experience. I don't know if Greg wants anything here or just save for the details later.
One thing I'd add is also the discussion of moving the quick starts should go with that. Please contribute if you have thoughts or opinions on what repo they should live in. Yeah, please chime in there.
Okay. And background on this one, as it becomes clear, like the roles of the different components in this project, I think the user experience, like the entry points, is very central, right? And the reason why, as Greg said, part of what we're doing now is kind of restructuring, moving some of the quick start to the main repo. There are many implications. I think in many ways this is the right move, but just for you all to know this is happening. Again, if you have feedback and suggestions or concerns about this, this is the place to chime in. Okay, on the other one, still kind of on request for feedback. As you guys know, we've been investing like on benchmarking. The stated goal for this is to make it, of course, easier to reproduce numbers, to get numbers, and so on. In that spirit, this community is considering have this kind of now database for performance benchmark data. So we build this database, maintain, and with some cadence, publish numbers from the world-lead paths. And this will be in the spirit of like full transparency, meaning that you publish things that look good and things that don't look good. Because main goal is really like the whole idea around all the paths is exactly to show like what to try and what to not try. So what can give you like the bigger bang for the buck. So in that spirit, I think it would be, we got to that point to a lot of things in motion until now, but a lot of the components are becoming more stable, more solid. As you know, across the teams, we've been doing a lot of evaluation and testing, and with the whole benchmark infrastructure coming to place now, I think we're in a good position to start doing that. We seek feedback if you guys think it is a good idea. There'll be some actual concrete proposal how we kind of operationalize this, but we feel like it's a good opportunity. Something that we don't feel like the broader community is doing a lot, and many times we bumped into challenges of it's hard to find how how numbers got published and how to reproduce. And I think llm-d can take a big step, just again leading by example and showing that we're open. We have ways to replicate what we produce. More like a shout out now and more to come. But if you have any input here, suggestion, the benchmark team is open to that. Okay. On release update, we touched on this last week. Just again to confirm, as I mentioned last time, there's some kind of key value proposition for llm-d that you want to make sure that for every iteration we kind of show very concrete progress. One, of course, is hardware support, additional hardware support beyond NVIDIA. So to make sure that we have what we need in place for AMD TPU, we thought that pushing out the release was a good thing. So we're doing that. So the target date was late. The previous one was this week. We're still kind of defining when it will be. Won't be pushed out by much. You'll notify back here the community. But again, just in the spirit of make sure that we make those big steps that we want and hit those core value propositions. I think that was needed and more important than anything else. So just in a quick update, we're making progress across many things and here in details. I just want to make sure that the community knows about this change. I think that's all, at least the sitting topics we selected for Open Forum. I don't know if anybody wants to chime in with anything else that is not listed here. Okay. Very good. So, which gives us plenty of time for SIG updates. So, getting to that now. Typical order. We start with SIG installation. So, maybe over to you, Greg.
Yep. As discussed earlier, the v0.3 migration is done. We still have some docs updates we'd like to do and more testing and quality of life changes. But overall, the meat and potatoes of the rework is done. A brief summary of these changes are reducing the amount of dependencies we have. We're getting rid of JQ and customize entirely. Abstracting the client-side dependencies into its own directory so documentation can be stored with the script to install them. Abstracting the gateway providers from a script into a Helm file to make it more declarative and easier to apply. The quick start updates, we refactored documentation to make it more modular. We put placeholders in as well for new docs for things like extending the quick starts or patterns for bring a PVC instead of Hugging Face model and common things like that. Quick starts now also support flexible names for releases as well as namespaces. So this should work with multi-tenancy at this point. There, I guess, is one change that we would like to land upstream in terms of cluster rules to regular rules, but aside from that, I think we should be good there. The installer is completely removed, and we have revamped our ingress manifest if people have chosen to use a cluster IP service that you can proxy and curl the gateway with. There's a list of more changes as well, but these are like the core quality of life changes.
Thanks, Greg. Maybe same for CI/CD.
Yeah, so we're trying to get started to support our hardware-specific friends. We have draft PRs out for TPU wheel builds for VLLM. We should also continue the discussion of what makes a llm-d compatible VLLM image. I've seen some people rolling in with PRs for certain hardware architecture that doesn't have things like LM cache enablement. So we should discuss like what are the base requirements we want to have. We've implemented CI/CD paths for the base well-lit paths, but we need to update that for the V3 changes. I'm sure things are going to break. And finally, we have a PR out for bringing SE cache to llm-d image builds. This is backed by an S3 bucket we're hosting in the ET AWS account, and this should speed up our build time significantly.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Moving on to Inference Scheduler, Nili.
I think Neely is out.
Oh, okay. So maybe we
I think the update is pretty short. There is a work on end-to-end testing that is going on, and I think we want to have, for next release to be ready with, built-in end-to-end testing. And we also started to gather beyond the current release what we want to do going forward. So we are gathering roadmap information. So if anyone has some features, ideas, or gaps that were identified, please reach out.
Sounds good. I don't see Abdullah here, but yeah. So if any other, comments about Inference Scheduler, please chime in. If
I would
ahead.
just add one more sentence that Inference extension first release candidate was released yesterday. So we started this work in the scheduler to move and use that in release candidate in llm-d.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Nir. All right. So moving to KV disaggregation, do we have Maroon or Danny here?
Yeah. So I'll update on the ongoing work stream. So we've been pushing for VLM native CPU offloading adoption, and at this point, I think we succeeded. The majority of the VLM maintainers have bought in, and this feature is set to be merged at some point or another in the near future. LM Cache is also collaborating and technically reviewing, and it should land in the coming week or two. So it's not set it was set as a release item, but it will not make it. It will follow shortly after. Chat completions end-to-end example is working and is in the repo. One PR in the inference gateway to change the pipeline such that it supports the required or it passes the needed fields is open. It's LGTM. It's just pending the inference gateway's release in order to be merged. And after that, there should be one version bump PR in the inference scheduler to get it working in the end-to-end pipeline. We've also did some more benchmarking. We'll continue releasing benchmarking actively and enhancing metrics and observability hand in hand with the benchmarking work stream with Marcio and the team. And that's all on our side.
Okay. Thanks, Maroon. Yeah, I just added like the tag, a hot area here for the CPU offloading mod going on there. I think great progress this week. So, and I know that this is across different teams. So it's this is something very, very needed, of course, and it's great that you're seeing progress there and community involvement. So yeah, just want to quick shout out. Okay. No questions for Maroon. Going to benchmarking now. I don't know if Marcio or Ashok, either one.
Sure. So first of all, there was a bug on inference perf that was highlighted by the Red Hat performance team, and Google fixed the benchmark, fixed the bug like 1 or 2 days. The version that you have currently have a new tag that has all the fixes, all the improvements to including the fix for this particular bug. The second thing is we are going through a concerted effort to have better documentation, expanded the documentation. Please take a look and give us feedback on that. That has been one of the lacking points pointed out by many, so we try to fix it. We at the moment are having a little bit of a breaker because of llm-d infra, but we are coordinating with Greg. We are going to get it in line again. So we have a couple of breakers. Yeah, we will get to that. Finally, I think it's a very important effort, something that the community has been asking, is we are synchronizing all the well-lit paths that we have on the llm-d infra, on the installers, for each one of those, we are going to have a scenario and an experiment on llm-d infra. We expect to have that ready by next week. Still coordinating with a few people, such as Ashok. We are going to try to select specific workload profiles that can highlight each one of those aspects, PD versus precise cache, prefix aware versus inference scanner. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, Ashok, any other comment? Okay. Yeah, just one quick comment from me. Again, the quick fix for inference perf, very much appreciated. So Ashok and team, thanks a lot. This unblocked a lot of things. So there is a lot of experiment like we're doing now, and again, we needed that, and it landed really quick. So thanks a lot. Okay. SIG observability. I think Ryan, maybe you covered this one. Yeah. Thanks.
Few updates. So we have an open PR to move the observability dashboards from the installer to a dedicated directory. It's currently waiting for approval. There's another PR for the in the GIE project for service monitor that's currently under review. And then I think we pretty much finalized the roadmap for what metrics we want to collect and what graphs. This was a joint work with the components team, trying to identify which problem can occur, what we're trying to target, and then going back. And now we need to work with each team to make sure that we are exporting all the right telemetry. Because currently there's many things missing in order for us to create those dashboards. So we have preliminary dashboards. The next step will be to work and expose more metrics and then build the dashboards if we want.
Great. Thanks, Roy. Yeah, lots of progress here. Yeah, if there's anything else you need from the community, I know that, again, this touches on so many things, right? Feel free to always bring it here. Yeah. Okay. Auto scaling.
Yeah. Abhishek, you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. So with the community, we did a demo to show efficacy of the model analyzer and optimizer for ITL or TPOT. We also discussed the HPA architecture with the community, and later there was a PR merged in the repo to have WVA integrated with HPA in the dev branch. We also increased test coverage on our dev branch, so there are new E2Es and unit tests in the project which are passing. So those are kind of the updates on the auto scaling side. Tamar, please let me know if I missed anything.
No, I think it's good. Just talking about next steps, maybe is we're working on the efficacy to TPOD. We're also working on incorporating analysis for time to first token. And once we complete that, we're going to have a autoscaler that works for each one of the variants, as well as a greedy algorithm to do the global optimization across. And so that is something that we consider iteration one, something like an MVP that can already provide value. And we're welcoming everyone to come and please test it. Try to run it yourself. There are good instructions in the repo on how to do that. So please try it. Please give us feedback. Yep, that's it.
All right. Thanks, Tamar and Abhishek. Okay, last one, PD disaggregation. Tyler?
Yep. So as always, focuses on YDP. So I just got back from vacation on Monday. I was hoping we would have DBO working by the time I get back. It's not, but we're making good progress. We have got some profile traces, PyTorch profile traces, which show good overlap, but we have issues with hangs. We have access to the VLLM team has access to a cluster with a couple hundred H200s. So we have that till like Sunday. So we're running benchmarks this week, trying to get DBO runs showing speed up there. And then we have a few other in progress performance items. So one issue is that with TP attention, there's actually slowdowns due to some duplicated work when mixing TP attention and EP MOEs. So we need to fix that. There's also at larger scale, there's some coordination issues that pop up that are pretty expensive that we can sidestep and then optimize for the other cases for now. So like when we push it up to like DP72, we see about 15 milliseconds of time in like a 100 millisecond forward pass. So this gets like pretty expensive. There's a few other open items as well here, working on getting overlapping the VLLM scheduler with the forward pass via async scheduling, getting that working with DP, as well as some other minor optimizations like where some of the EPLB like minor torch ops are fairly expensive that we can speed these up via torch.compile. The other thing is that if you see in the SIG DeepSeek channel, we've been making a lot of progress on B200 support overall in VLLM, and B200 performance and experience with getting that working is finally looking pretty reasonable. You see Clayton's posts in the SIG DeepSeek channel.
Sounds good. Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Yeah, so DBO is proving to be a little trickier than we all expected, I guess. But yeah, we continue to make progress. But this one has been, a tricky one. Okay, thanks a lot. Any question for Tyler or anybody else? All right. Yeah, I think we covered everything. I don't know if Clayton and we don't have Rob today, but if you guys want to chime in with anything. If not, I think we're finishing a bit earlier today. Sounds good. Okay, let's continue to make progress. Thanks all, and we always in Slack, and I see you again next week. And for the ones in the US, enjoy the holiday ahead. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.